After being involved in that insane shootout against the CPU user opponent, it's time to move along to the following week, but we do have to address this defensive lineman breakout part 3, which is more than likely Elijah Chapman. So let's take a peek and see. I feel like my game has taken a lot of steps forward this season. It definitely has. But that last game felt like a bit of a step backwards. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that. I think you've just taken so many big steps this year that a smaller step just feels that way. Keep pushing and you'll get there. Yeah, that definitely sucked to not. But I thought, you know what I was about to say? That definitely sucked that we didn't get that breakout. But I thought they gave us that breakout. I don't know. I might be tripping. That was last week. I'm so far ahead of that. But nonetheless, we're on to the next week in the game. I meant last week, like in real time. But we're on to the next week in the game. And we're facing off against one of the tougher user opponents in the league, one of the top tier user opponents. This guy actually is the originator of this league. So we're going to have our hands full this week and we're going to need to get prepared. I'm going to take time out to upgrade my squad. But as you can see it, player of the week, AR5, 9 for 22, 281 yards passing, 2 passing TDs, 1 sack, 17 carries for 216 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. We also had that interception in there. So he had another big game. And like I said, it's time for us to take the time out this week to go ahead and upgrade our entire squad because we're going to need it going up against the Cardinals this week. So before we do that, let's check out what the coordinator has to say.
One of their toughest matchups early in the season, but there is hope. One of their coaches has found what they think is a key weakness. The decision now, how exactly to exploit it.
All right, so let's see. I know people have been talking up this defense we're facing, but I don't see a reason to fear that line. Yeah, right. If we attack them through the run game, we'll be able to sustain long drives and dominate time of possession. Are you worried about not putting up enough points? It won't matter. They can't keep up if they never have the ball. Our line will set the tone, and our backs are going to break off big chunks every time. Trust me. I can handle the play call and shift. You get the guys ready in practice this week. I hope you're right on this. Yeah, I sure hope so. So let's go ahead and knock out this weekly training. And after we knock out the weekly training, like I said, we'll go ahead and start upgrading our players. That way we can keep the league more of like a sim football league instead of a lot of that cheese crap that you would typically see. This way we can keep people interested and don't have to worry about too many people wanting to leave the league. So eventually he got out of the league and stayed away for a little while. But over the last, I want to say 5 years or so, he got back in the league and he's been a mainstay in the league. So, and since he's been a mainstay, he's been one of the top players in the league. So this is definitely going to be a massive matchup, which is part of the reason why I wanted to go ahead and make sure all of my guys are fully developed and use every single bit of the points that we have to make sure they're top of the line and ready for this big time matchup. So let's see. We got a couple injuries. Bashal Tootin left hand isn't fully healed. Cody he's practice squad. Ain't nobody worried about them practice squad guys. They show up injured every week. So I'm not too concerned about them. But yes, time to go ahead and start upgrading our guys. All right, so we got 12 points for Bashal. Let's see how far of a jump we can get him. We're going to put a majority of this on elusive. I might put all of this on elusive. I'm not just sure yet. I may put some on power back, but I think I will use it all on elusive. Either elusive or receiving, because my primary focus in the offseason as far as the draft is concerned is to bring in a power back so we can have our thunder and lightning, and Bashal will be our lightning. But once we get him maxed out on elusive, we'll start putting him on, we'll start allocating skill points to the power back spot. But as you can see, as we keep upgrading him with the elusive points, the power back rating goes up as well. So it's just not going to go up as fast as it would if we allocated those points towards the power back rating, the power back overall. So again, we're going to keep allocating towards elusive. We'll use that this entire time because we want to make him as shifty as possible so we can cut on a dime easily. And as you can see, he's already up to a 90. That's with the +5 morale boost. We got 2 more points, so he's a 91. So this next one, I anticipate him being a 92. Let's see, will they do it? Yes, he's a 92. So without the +5 morale, he's actually at 87, which is still damn good. But with the +5, he's a 92 overall. He has a star dev. Good. Like I said, we need stuff like this going into the matchup that we're going into. And now, finally, to upgrade AR, he's a 72 overall. We have 12 skill points for him. This is going to be strong arm right here. Maybe some scrambler, possibly some field general. But I like to really boost up the strong arm. We'll give him some scrambler because I like to improve that throw on the run accuracy and power and everything of that nature. So we'll put a few of this on scrambler and then the rest we'll put on strong arm so we can make sure when we are bombing it down the field, we're bombing it down the field with great accuracy. So far we got him up to an 83, which isn't the greatest because you have +2 temporary and +5 morale. Why can't they just give him straight up points for his overall? I don't like this. So right now we're at an 85 with him. We have 5 skill points left. So now it's time to start adding those skill points to strong arm. There we go. Throw accuracy deep. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we want to boost up right here. Got him up to an 86. So one of the morale came away. So now we're starting to improve the overall rating a lot more. So he's an 86. Oh, they gave a 1 point back to the morale. God damn. All right, so we got 3 points left. It's cool. We're going to keep maintaining. Okay, they took it away. But now they gave it to the temporary. This is ridiculous. They just playing in our face at this moment. So it's cool. We're going to maintain our integrity. We're going to keep adding to the strong arm. Keep improving that throw accuracy deep. All right, there we go. This is insane. 10 of those points. So he's technically at 82 overall. But with the +4 temporary and +6 morale, that puts us at a 92. So we want to increase that because we want the overall to be a 92, not 92 after morale and temporary. So next we got Isaiah Bond, who has 9 points. He should take off here as well. We'll go ahead and add deep threat. You know we got to add deep threat. If we're going to focus on strong arm with AR5, you know we got to focus on deep threat for our receivers, especially somebody of Isaiah Bond's caliber who's going to be a downfield target for us consistently, day in and day out, week by week in each game. So continue to add those points to deep threat. Come on, let's see if we can get him in the 80s. So far he's 76. Deep threat again, 77 +4. So technically he's a 73, but who's really keeping track? Got 4 more points. Yeah, we'll definitely get him in the 80. Hopefully we can actually get him to an 80 overall without the morale boost. But I don't think we'll get there. We might get to 82, 83 +2 release. So we're looking good there. So we got him at an 80 +4. Technically he's a 76. You know the drill. So 1 more point. So he's an 81. So 81 with the +4 morale. Technically, without the morale, he's a 77 overall. So we'll take it. We'll take it. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. So we got 9 for Elijah Chapman, the guy who technically got the breakout but didn't get the breakout. So let's go ahead and boost him up real quick. We want to improve his run stopping ability. So, because again, if you remember, we moved our D tackles to D ends so we can put them on the edges and build their numbers as far as sacking the quarterback so we can get these dev points, this XP, so we can improve their rating. And then when all of this is said and done, we'll move them back over to D tackle. So far, so good on Elijah Chapman. We got 5 more points. I'm loving the improvement he's making because the crazy part about this is that although he's a 77 right now and we still have 4 points to improve, so we're going to improve power rusher as well as run stopping ability. But although he is a 78 or whatever his overall says right here, as we unlock an ability, once we move him to D tackle, that overall is going to be much better because his original position is D tackle. So I'll be intrigued to see what he looks like once we go take a peek at the depth chart with him in at D tackle. So go ahead and allocate this last point to power rusher. It didn't put us to 80. I was hoping it would, but it's all good. We'll take what we got. Nonetheless, he's still a superstar, so he's gonna retain, or he's gonna obtain points at a faster rate than some of these other guys will. So Leighton Robinson, again, we're trying to boost up that offensive line. If you remember at the beginning of the series, one of the main things I talked about was the focus in year one was going to be me developing the quarterback and the wide receivers, possibly the tight end. I'm not putting too much emphasis on the tight end, but possibly the tight end. Year two is going to be emphasis on developing my running backs as well as my offensive line, because they all work hand in hand together. If you're developing quarterbacks, you're developing your wide receivers. If you're developing your running backs, you're developing your offensive linemen. And we got a good amount of XP with Leighton Robinson and some of our other offensive linemen, even though we're not really focusing on offensive line in year one. So 5 points is really good, and we got him up pretty high. We definitely want to get Amari Barno boosted up. We want to get as many edges, as many defensive ends, outside linebackers up to a top tier overall, so our team can be a menace against whoever we face off against in this league. So we had 4 points to work with for Amari Barno. So far, we got him at a 73 with +2. So now he's at a 74. So technically, 72, but nonetheless, he's normal. We're going to work our way towards improving his dev trait. Anthony Schwartz, +4. So again, receivers is going to be deep threat. We're going to focus on the deep threat because we want them, just as we want AR to have accuracy deep with that cannon arm that he has. We want receivers that's going to be able to get off the line and get free going deep on those deep over routes, those crossing routes, those post corner routes, go routes, etc. So you got to develop the release playmaker ability, the deep threat ability. So we got him up to a 71 right now. BTJ has 3 points, but he doesn't have a ton that you have to work with as far as development wise. He's already up there pretty much, and he's got a lot on that first upgrade. God damn. So we got an ability there. We unlock an ability there. So we got 1 more point to work with. I'm going to go ahead and use playmaker because we're not really worried too much about him being a deep threat. So right off the rip, and he's just racking up the points. Superstar, we're going to work towards getting him an X factor. So he's a 92 overall, +4 morale. Here we go with another offensive lineman, Daniel Falele, one of our focus players on the year. And we got 4 points to work with for him. So again, although we're not really focusing on running and developing the offensive linemen and running backs in year one, the offensive linemen are actually acquiring quite a bit of points. So I'll be intrigued to see what they do in year two when we do start to put focus and emphasis on those guys. So Lewis Seen, one of our premier defensive backs, at least that's what we're turning him into. We got 3 points to work with for him. So we want to boost that up, get that as top notch as possible. We want to focus on him being a hybrid and focus on him and his zone ability, because we run pretty much more of a zone than anything. We like to run a lot of cover 6. So we got him up to a 76. That's with +3 morale. Then we're on to Isaiah Simmons, our playmaker in the middle. He has 3 points as well. We got to go with pass coverage. We're not too focused on run stopping. We got other guys that could run stop. Let's focus on the pass coverage because you got a lot of users in this league that like to pass. All they like to do is pass the ball. So we want to make sure our guys are coverage first defenders versus run stopping defenders. You might have 1 or 2 users in this league that like to run, but it's not a lot. Donovan Edwards has been getting in on some action. Remember, Bashal Tootin had got hurt, so he had to come fill in for him for a game or so. So of course, he put in work in his time in there. So he's got a couple points to work with. He's got a few points. So we got him up to a 74 so far with a +1 temporary and a +2 morale. So let's go see what else we got. Adabare has 3 points as well. So we got quite a bit to update here. Again, another one of our defensive tackles that we moved to edge so we could rack up on those sacks and build up this XP. So again, focusing on power rushing and run stopping. I think we might just go all power rusher here. We'll focus on run stopping another time, but focus on power rushing. He's already got what he needs as far as the speed is concerned, even though he doesn't have a high speed rushing. Excuse me, a high speed rusher rating. We know he's got a speed, so we're not too focused on that. So we got Cam Little. We good. That's enough right there. And as you can see, we got 2 abilities unlocked. I remember one was BTJ. I think the other one was Barno, or was it it's Chapman. Yeah, there we go. The other one was Chapman. So we got Unfakeable as one. Defender with this ability, whatever. Oh, that's the only ability. Okay, yeah. Well, we can't do anything with that. Let's see what we got for BTJ. So we got 3 slots here. Hopefully we improve him to an X Factor so we can acquire that X Factor ability as well as these superstar abilities. Acrobat. Oh, we gotta have the Acrobat. So let's see. Players with this ability are more likely to succeed and attempt diving catch. Of course, reach for it. We already know what reach for it is. Ball carriers with this ability frequently reach for matchup nightmare. Oh yeah, we need that. We need matchup nightmare before anything. We need matchup nightmare. So yeah, we'll sub that out. But that's gonna do it for this episode. On the next episode, once I get in contact with the Cardinals, we'll go ahead and get into that game action. But for the time being, as always, if you're here for the first time or you're returning and you haven't liked or subscribed already, please do so. Click that notification tab so you can stay up to speed with more of this Jaguars rebuild as well as other Madden 26 content. Again, I appreciate you all for tuning in. That's been my time. Till next time. Peace.